Magic the Gathering fans, this is Daniel Chang with Graded Magic Cards. Find us at gradedmagiccards.com, or you can find us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Also, we're redeveloping our mtgstores.com site. It's the online marketplace for Magic the Gathering, and that you should see some new results here in 2012. Today's segment is on the coveted Moxes. As we all know, the Power 9 consists of the Black Lotus, the Ancestral Recall, the Time Walk, the Time Twister, and the 5 Moxes for the 5 colors of Magic. Each one of these are BGS 9.5 graded, with signed by the original artist, Dan Frazier. We met with Dan, and Dan advised us when he created these pieces, they were meant to really allow the Mox itself, the jewelry, to stand out with a distinctive background, which he portrayed very well. These were all done in oils in terms of the originals, and I believe most of the originals are owned by Wizards, and the Mocs Pearl is owned by a gentleman in Atlanta right now. I think Rich Murray, a gentleman I've talked to before. So let's talk about the first card. In these segments we're going to be doing with the cards, we're going to talk about just the grading aspects of the cards. And from a player's perspective, the Moxes are useful, obviously, because the mana is instantaneous versus a normal land or something. So it's very powerful because the fact that you get a mana boost instantly. The Mocs Pearl itself is a card that's centered generally most of the time. You'll find that the left to right centering might be a little bit off here and there, but generally I've noticed the packs, they're pretty much centered. Sometimes top to bottom there's an issue too. You'll notice that the top is less. This particular one is perfectly all 9.5s with a 10 centering, 10 surface. You'll notice that the card is absolutely gorgeous. Nothing I can really say about the Mocs Pearl other than that it's one of the most undervalued Moxes out of all the bunch. And here's the Mocs Jet. And the Mocs Jet is one of the rarest ones out there in terms of getting a 9.5 overall grade. The biggest reason why is the centering. The centering on the Mocs Jet is generally left to right difficult. Also, the top to bottom tends to be pretty difficult to get too. This particular piece received a 10 Beckett Pristine centering subgrade. What that means is that each side in the front is 50-50 top to bottom, left to right. Can't really tell from this camera with the angle, but when the boxes inside, the brown boxes that are inside the actual the picture of the magic cards for the betas and alphas too, they measure that as part of the centering. So it's important to note that when you're grading cards. Definitely one of the most difficult cards and the highest graded Mocs Jet in the world in terms of the beta. Moving along, we have the beautiful Mocs Pearl, Mocs Ruby, one of my favorites because of the background. This one we received balanced subgrades of all 9.5s and 10 corners. Just a beautiful piece. I remember picking this one up in a large collection. I thought it was going to be pristine, but it's a phenomenal looking piece. Usually very easy to get centered out of the pack, but then again you have ones that are off-centered and with some corner wear. Next piece we have is the beautiful Mox Emerald with all 9.5 subgrades and 10 corners. Another piece that's fairly easy to find centered. but there's a surface issue with this card. On the middle here, on the left and the right, there generally are some print defects due to the manufacturer print. This is caused by using stamping when cutting the cards, and it sometimes has indentations on those edges. So be sure to watch for that. We do have a higher graded example in terms of subgrades for the corners and the edges, the centering. However, the surface is a 7.5. So this is the best overall emerald we've ever seen graded. And lastly, we have the most coveted piece in a lot of collectors' eyes, the Mox Sapphire. The Mox Sapphire is generally not difficult to find centered, but it is always played a lot. Very hard to find a mint copy or near mint to mint copy available to grade. This piece received all 9.5 subgrades and 10 corners, and just one of the most beautiful sapphires I've ever seen in my life. We've graded a couple of these before and some PSA 10s, and this piece is absolutely gorgeous. What's cool about this collection is Dan Frazier actually signed the back of each card on the case for our friend Udo in South Africa. So I'll go ahead and do that for the fans there. There you go, Udo. Well, we appreciate your business and appreciate you being a standout collector and allowing us to use your Moxes as display for the collectors out there, an audience. And again, if you have any questions about grading cards or want to contact me, feel free to reach me at Daniel@gradedmagiccards.com, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks again.